Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Western Wayne Wildcats basketball and two Lady Wildcats, Rebecca and Rachel Carmody. Well, girls, you've done some great stuff there at Western Wayne. You're capping it all off here in your senior year. Let's start with you first, Rebecca. Talk about playing with, I'm sure, your best friend and your sister Rachel.
We've been playing together for 13 years now. So it's awesome. I can always trust her and count on her to make the big play or to, do a little thing out on the court. And that's a big thing. Definitely trust. And it's going to be really weird not having her around next year. Well,
according to your coach, you scored 14.2 points per game last year. Your sister scored 14.1 points per game. Was there some decimal points or something thrown in there?
It's kind of weird, actually. I don't even know how that stuff happens.
Well, Rebecca, for you, talk about your ability to play basketball. You're going to take your game to the next level and head to Binghamton University.
It's always been a dream of mine to play at a Division I level. So I'm so super excited to actually play against the big time, and I can finally evaluate myself against really good competition. I'm really excited for it.
How much have you and your sister Rachel talked about, was there any discussion about trying to go to the same school, or did you figure at some point you're going to have to go your separate ways?
Yeah, we pretty much decided that we were going to go our separate ways because I think it's time that we, get away from each other for a little bit just to see how we live without each other.
What's it about Rachel that you like? You said you trust her on the court. Tell us a little bit about her game that you like about her game, Rebecca, as far as what she does out there to set things up, and obviously she could score as well.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing that I love about her game is that she can not only play inside, but she can also go out and shoot the three, which is a really, for the defense, it's a hard matchup for her. So that's definitely a really cool thing about her.
Rebecca, you told us a little bit about Rachel's game. How about your own game? Tell us about some stuff that you've worked on to get yourself to where you're going to head to a Division I school. Is it your outside shot, your ability to take the ball inside?
I definitely worked on my outside shot a lot. The last 3 years, my free throw percentage is god-awful. And this year I'm shooting real well from the line. So that's definitely a big thing that I've worked on. My ability to get to the basket has been one of my strongest points of my game. I take it really hard, and, I love driving. I love getting to the basket. I love getting the and one calls. And then my defense, I love being scrappy, and I love blocking shots, so that's definitely another thing.
Who's your toughest opponent that you've played against this year, or is it the battles with your sister that would be a tough opponent?
That's always a tough opponent, but probably the toughest opponent that I faced this year was Caitlin Miller. She's an amazing player. I love playing against her. Jess Jenko, she's another one. They're both going to play D1, so it's awesome to play against, already Division I athletes.
Rebecca, how about some fun stuff that you and Rachel do that, that isn't basketball oriented?
We do a lot of fun stuff, I guess. We're always with each other. We hang out with the same friends. We rarely ever spend time away from each other. So every moment together is fun, is what I'm trying to say.
Let's check in now with Rachel Carmody, the sister of Rebecca. And obviously, these two young ladies have done some great stuff. Rachel, we got to hear all about Rebecca. How about for you now? Tell us about having fun there at Western Wayne and playing the game of basketball with your sister.
It's a really enjoyable time because I get to play on the court with my best friend and somebody who I've been playing with for the past 13 years, and you just get to know how they play and where they're going to be if you make a play, and you can always dish to them, or you could always be there for their help.
Any game could be your last together on the high school court. Playoffs are here. You lose and you go home. How emotional will that time be with you and your sister, that last game, whenever that's going to be?
It's going to be very emotional and very hard because we can play pickup games and stuff, but we'll never play a competitive game again, and it's actually kind of upsetting.
Rachel, for you, how about your goals and things that you want to do? Is basketball something you want to do at the next level with your sister headed to Binghamton? What are some of the options you're looking at?
I'm looking at Misericordia University and Widener University.
And then how about what you're looking at studying, Rachel, at the next level?
Oh, I'm looking at studying physical therapy.
Well, you got some good choices there for that. Rachel, for you, talk about things you mentioned. Rebecca mentioned a little bit about her game and a little bit about your game. Talk about your ability to shoot the three and working on your game this past off season.
My ability to shoot the three is, it's like a 1-2 step. I always have my left foot planted, and then when somebody passes me the ball, I just step up in my right, and then I just hit the shot and just follow through, and hopefully it goes in. I step up my game because, on defense, I try to be in help when I have to be there. I've been blocking a lot more shots this year because I've learned to just keep my hands up and not to come down on the person, because that will cause fouls, and I'll foul out, and I don't need that.
How about the fun you're having and the identity, I'm sure, of your team has to go through the Carmody girls. Talk about all the fun you have with your teammates, and I'm sure you two set the tone as far as what the atmosphere is like in the locker room.
It's a lot of fun, not just between Rebecca and I, but with the whole team. We've grown. I've made a lot of friendships this year, more than I have in the past, because I think I've noticed that this is my last year, and I really want to make an impact on these kids and to show not only how to be a person, but how to be a basketball player.
Talk about the family support you guys get at home, and then, of course, the support you get from your coaches at Western Wayne.
The family support that we get at home is incredible. My parents are very helpful, and they know what goals that we've wanted to reach, and they've really helped us reach them by putting us through programs and working with us and just being supportive and being at every game that they could be at.
Rebecca and Rachel Carmody here on the John Mendola Show. Western Wayne Wildcats were driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.